So Nintendo announced the end of their eShop Gold Points program, which is very, very boo-hoo cry sad. And this came with another sort of similar announcement. They've announced that eShop vouchers will not work with Switch 2 games. We will not be able to use purchased vouchers on Switch 2 exclusive titles. I think they did specify exclusive. That could mean that if there's a cross-gen game, maybe you can use a voucher on that. I really don't know, though. For the most part, we're not going to be able to use these vouchers on Switch 2 games. And on the subject of vouchers, just for a second, I think it's really weird that this is my job. I'm supposed to, like, stay up to date on Nintendo stuff. But I went a weirdly long time without actually understanding what vouchers were for. I am literally conditioned to, like, see this kind of thing and see any kind of, like, coupon-related thing from Nintendo and just assume it's not a good deal. Do you know what I mean? I just, like, assume automatically that it's probably not worth my time, which is a shame because I could have saved some money. In this case, it really was worth my time. In case you don't know, in case you're like I was, vouchers, you buy 2 at a time. You spend $100 and you get 2 vouchers, and you can spend 1 voucher on essentially any game. And, you know, most retail games are $60. So if you spend $100 on 2 vouchers, then you buy 2 games with them, you've saved yourself $20. And if you spend a voucher on Tears of the Kingdom, $70 game, you just saved $30 in total. And thankfully, I figured that out before Tears of the Kingdom, so I got to, savings, yes, twiddle my mustache. $30, all for me. So it's actually a pretty great system. It's kind of like the gold point system was, kind of weirdly generous of Nintendo. And I know here I am talking about how they're never generous, and yet the gold points and the vouchers, they really weren't bad. I gotta give it to them. And you know, in the gold points video, I talked about how that program might have kind of been like extra incentive back when Nintendo was a little bit more desperate to get people into their ecosystem. But then vouchers rolled out in 2019. And by 2019, the Switch was really rolling. It seemed like they didn't really have to give us that extra incentive. But at the same time, that was when NSO itself was getting rolling. You know, like that was when, you know, Smash had come out and they really, like, they made it very clear that NSO was a really big part of their whole business strategy. They wanted to get as many people signed up as possible, and so that could be why, even then, even though it was clear that the Switch was going to be very successful, they wanted to additionally incentivize us to sign up for NSO. But I don't know. Now, so is them saying that you can't use vouchers on Switch 2 games, is it possible that means vouchers themselves are simply going away? You know, is it possible that now that a lot of people have signed up for NSO, like NSO has proved to be a very, very successful endeavor. Nintendo is always putting out the stats, and a tremendous percentage of the Switch playing population, they have signed up for NSO. They are just staying subscribed to NSO. So there you go. That could mean that, again, now they are seeing enough success that Nintendo no longer feels that they need to add extra incentive, especially because the service itself has just grown in value. They have only added more games. Now a bunch of DLC for their most popular games is free. They added the expansion package. Sure, you had to pay extra money for it, but that still came with a bunch of extra games. You can still get a really, really good deal if you have a family plan and you share it with all your friends. It's still quite cheap. So it could be that they are rolling back this kind of thing because they just don't need to do it anymore, just like the gold points. The thing is, though, this is not necessarily confirmation that they are ending the program. You know, like vouchers on Switch 1, they're not going away. It seems like for the foreseeable future, we will be able to, purchase vouchers and spend them on Switch games. Of course, there will come a time, maybe not too far in the future, when the Switch 1 just stops getting new games, and there isn't really that much to purchase with these vouchers anymore, unless you're just, you know, buying up from the backlog. But even then, like, I don't know, all the new games are going to be coming out. It's a brand new generation. I don't know, whatever. So, like, it's nice that this is still going to be usable on the original Switch. But right now, we don't know what the fate of the concept of vouchers is going into the Switch 2 generation. And, kind of like with gold points, when they announced that they were going away, we think, oh, well, it's possible that this thing could just get a new version on the Switch 2. It is certainly possible that there will be a unique voucher system on Switch 2. Or, kind of like I said in the other video, maybe they'll kind of feel things out. Switch 2 comes out, and they'll make the decision then. If things go really smoothly, they feel like they don't need to give us any extra incentive to buy games, any discounts or anything, then they won't. Or if things don't get off quite on the right foot, then they've got that. They've got it. Again, it's the card in their sleeve or whatever. They can just, yeah, sure, bring back the voucher system. Give people slightly cheaper games. Sure. But here, right here, the real point of the video is it's another kind of angle to consider, another element here to consider. If vouchers do end up coming back on the Switch 2, it could be that Switch 1 vouchers will not be compatible because Switch 1 vouchers, besides Tears of the Kingdom, they can pretty much across the board be used on $60 games. Brand new Switch games are $60. It is possible, very possible, that the Switch 2, if it does have a voucher system, it's going to have to be a brand new system that is revamped, a different price per voucher. That's probably going to be the main difference there. Or it could be you buy one voucher at a time. It could be 3 vouchers at a time. Whatever the case, though, the numbers are going to be different. Or rather, I would imagine that the numbers would have to be different if Switch 2 games were not $60. Tears of the Kingdom, you getting a little extra money off of that, you know, just paying a voucher you spent $50 on, saving $20, that's already bad enough, you know, that's already, that probably already stings for Nintendo, but this very much could be evidence that, you know, a lot, if not all, Switch 2 games are going to be $70, and that's why they cannot, they simply refuse to let us use these vouchers on those games, because that would be too much savings. And I did a whole entire video about this, if you haven't seen it, talking about why I think Switch 2 games probably are going to be 70, maybe not necessarily all of them. I think that's probably not realistic, especially because Nintendo, they do put out a lot of games of varying, I don't know, sizes, scopes, you know? Sometimes you do have the big AAA experiences, and sometimes you do have the kind of small, you know, there's always going to be a WarioWare collection of some kind, and I don't think I could see Nintendo selling that for $70 anytime soon. Maybe next gen, but not this gen. So yeah, I don't think every single game will be 70, but I really do think there's a very good chance that at least like the big ones, you know, Zelda, Mario, Mario Kart, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, at the very least, the biggest, most important games to hit the system, the ones that they know are gonna sell a whole bunch of copies, and they're big, and they're huge, and they're next gen, and they're so pretty, and oh, you must have spent so much money to make these games. I think it's all but guaranteed that they are going to be $70. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo themselves haven't even really figured it out yet. Maybe they're still going to play it by ear, kind of like they said about Tears of the Kingdom. They said this is not necessarily setting a trend. We are going to consider each and every game as an individual case. And maybe that will still be true. Maybe they do not yet have a definitive plan for what games are going to be what, especially with all the economical stuff going on and tariffs and what have you. I don't even know about that. And throughout the course of a generation, you know, inflation and all this, like things change. Not generally for the better. So yeah, they're probably not going to give us like a definitive, like here's how this is going to go. But yeah, all that to say, the whole point of the video I did before, again, go watch it. I'd appreciate it. I really would. I really like it. I'm happy with how it turned out. Point is, I think $70 games are coming. And to me, this is evidence of that. Not proof, but evidence. I think it kind of points toward that future. And if that is the case, then I do have to wonder what the new voucher system, if they did do a new voucher system, what would it be? You know, if before it was you spend $100 on 2, so you could buy 2 $60 games, is it going to be at $110? Is that like, I don't know, like 100 for 2? Is a very nice, clean, even kind of deal. It felt good, you know? Like, I don't know, if it's 120 for 2 for $70 games, I suppose that could still be like about $10 saving per game. Just like now, could be the same amount of savings. At the same time, though, if they're gonna have a lot, like some $70 games or a lot of $70 games, but not all of them are $70 games, there's still a lot of $60 games, then are you like making the customer kind of like pick and choose? It's like, okay, no, I'm gonna save these specifically for the $70 ones. I don't know. Do you make it like you can't use a voucher on a $70 game anymore? You just can't. I don't really know how they're gonna do it. Maybe they don't even know how they're going to do it. Maybe they're still trying to figure that out. But there was one thing they knew for sure. At the very least, there is one singular thing they're completely sure about. No $50 Switch 1 vouchers on Switch 2. Too good. That is too much savings. But we will simply have to wait and see. How you doing today? How y'all doing? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. I'm feeling pretty good today. Feeling pretty chill. I feel like, I don't know. Just kind of feeling relaxed. It's nice. You know, I've been sleeping better. The last couple nights have been pretty darn good. You know what happened? 2 nights ago, you know what I did? Do you know what I did? Okay, well, hold on. Insomnia. In case you're just joining me now. Had insomnia for years. It's been like a long, long process, but I'm very happy to report I've broken my high score. Like, since I struggled with insomnia, the other night I slept the most that I have slept. Like, good 7.5 hours. Like, decently close to like the kind of full night of sleep that I want to get. Boy, I like. For maybe the first time in like 3 years, I woke up feeling better having slept. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to sleep and it like recovers your body and your mind and rejuvenates you. And so you wake up feeling like, oh, I have energy for the day now. I have not felt that in like 3 years. And I got a little bit of that the other day, and then like last night wasn't bad either. And it's funny because like but instead of being like really I don't know, active, like, oh, I gotta move, I've got all this energy, I think instead it's just making me feel like even more chill. I don't know. A lot of our discomfort comes, like a lot of our outward fidgetiness and discomfort comes from internal discomfort. I feel like when I'm tired, I'm just less comfortable, like, overall. So it's almost like getting the sleep has made me kind of just, I just like feel good. If anything, I feel just like more relaxed. I just feel like a little bit more at peace in my head. You know, the waters are a little bit more calm. It's good. It's good. Sleep, I think you know what? In my opinion, sleep is pretty important. So that's good. Anyway, I guess I'll save more of this talk for the next stream. See you there.